Welcome to my video tutorial about how to make posters with threshold effect. Threshold is a bit like Lith. I've done a video on Lith for video, but this is just how to, that's not a good look, is it? How to use it in Photoshop. So sort of just using extreme black and white, which is what Lith film is. It's where you get sort of, there's no real greys in between. And you can use it to create some quite cool stuff. It's a fairly basic example for this today, but you can use this. Ideally with some of your own stuff would be nice. But by all means, you can do what you want with it. So anyway, I'll stop being a tool and get on with it. Right, so I will put a link to this image in the description so you can have a go with it. This is some pictures by some ex-students. I think this is by Anna, and Emily's in the picture. Good photograph. Anna, well done. Right, so this is our background layer. Hello, background layer. And so I'm just going to go, and I'm going to go to image. No, I'm not. I need to click on my background layer first. I say background. I've got group one. I've got other stuff in there. So I'm just going to go to the image of Emily. And I don't think you can see image at the top, but I'm clicking on an image there. Image, adjustment, and threshold. The threshold gives you this instant, oh my god, it's just black and white. So you can then just sort of tweak this. And what I'm looking for a bit of detail on the face. So I can see it's a human being. I quite like in the stripes as well. So of the jumper, sort of suggesting that she's, you know, just robbed a bank or something like that. So we'll take that as a step one, maybe a tiny bit darker. Yeah. Again, you can choose to pick whatever sort of layer that you want, but you get the idea of, you just get that instant, really high contrast black and white, which is quite cool. Next, I'm going to switch on the next layer, which is Dan Clark, taken by, I think this is by Beth or Jodie. Maybe Yasmin, not too sure. So on this one, we're going to do the same thing again. So Dan's looking really cool. So we're going to go to image, adjustments, and threshold again, and we get this really high contrast look. So really we're looking for the face and the glasses on this. So again, I can just sort of tweak. Oh, hello. I was just trying to zoom in, then tweak this around so you get which point it's deciding where it's black and white. So if I sort of go back, I quite like somewhere around there. It's pretty cool. It's looking dangerous. So I've got that, which I like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. And all of you shouting at me now, but David, we already know how to duplicate layer. It's Command and J or Control and J on a PC. So I've got Dan with Dan above him. So I'm going to flip this layer. So rather than Dan being on the left hand side, he's going to be on the right hand side. Again, you're already shouting at me, but Dave, we know how to do this. To edit at the top, which I think you can see. So edit, transform, and flip horizontally. So he now jumps to the other side. Hello, Dan. And now we're going to play with the blend modes. Now, you've done quite a bit of blend mode stuff. If you've done any of my lessons before, you'll know a bit about blend modes. So we're just on this layer. We want it to blend with the layer below. So I'm just going to click on normal, and we're going to try a different version. Oh, that's quite cool like that, isn't it? So instantly, there are some that look quite cool. I think the one I'm going for today was difference, where I get a sort of mixture of the two together. I get that sort of scattered look that's on the left hand side at the moment, sort of blends with the face, which I quite like. It sort of creates this crazy sort of look. It's still a person, but it's like, oh, what's going on there? So I've put that on. Now, other little tricks. So sometimes you have a layer that you want to sort of super glue to the one below it, okay? So you want it to become just one layer rather than these be two separate. I want it to become the same layer. So what I'm going to do is press Command and E for Eddie or Edwina or another name beginning with E, like Easton. So that's now super glued together. So they are one layer together, okay? So now what we're going to do is blend them with the layer below. Now again, part of the purpose of doing this is to show you some different stuff than we've done before. So we used difference just then. So I'm going to try difference just again now. It's quite an unusual one to use. So I've gone on to difference. It's quite cool. Sort of instantly they're beginning to blend together, which I really like. You get some others that some do next to nothing. That one's a bit too much. That top of Dan's head's missing. And then just the top of Dan's head for that one. But I do like difference. Extraction, exclusion does the same thing actually. But I'm going to go for difference there. And I've got this sort of Emily in a field and Dan sort of either side, looking like this menacing monster of a man. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to switch on. So I've already added some text. So I'll just switch that on and show you that. So I can just highlight it. You can't actually see it, which is probably because it's black. Let's just make it white. There you go. You can see it now. Okay, so there's the text. Now, sometimes you want to sort of move text around. And you don't always have to have it as separate layers. It can be a bit of a pest sometimes when it's separate layers. It's great because then it's easy to edit individually, but you can do stuff where it's all the sort of same fonts, just moving stuff around. So what I've got open is properties, which is in my window options. So properties, so if you're unsure, you click on window at the top and properties, hello. So when we're in this, I can zoom over to it. I can scroll down. I can see some of the sort of options about the characters and text and paragraphs and all that sort of jazz. So the interesting bit on this is this here, which is the line spacing. It's a bit of a pest in Photoshop, this, but this bit here, you see there it is, the magic double arrow. So I click over this and I can sort of change the gap between stuff. For example, if I highlight just killing, great name for a film, The Killing Fields. Apparently it is a real film. And then I can just go back over here, put my mouse over, click and hold and drag on that. I can adjust the difference above. So for example, if I click and drag, I can move killing up towards the. Okay? And with them all being the same layer, it means that if I was ever to change the colour or anything, it would just change the whole sort of section together, just to sort of compound that in to help the learning. If I select fields, I can then do the same thing. I can sort of move that up and give it the same sort of spacing. And obviously then the field of screams, what a tagline. I can sort of move that around so it's sort of between Dan's shoulders like that. So that's sort of quite a nice little bit of way of being able to control your text. So it's all the same layer, but I've just got a little bit more control over it, which I think works out quite well. And last, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this layer, which is, I just googled circular saw or something like that. And again, it's extreme high contrast image. It's just black and white. I did sort of boost the contrast on a little bit, but here it is. And then I can just sort of go in, and if I try difference again, okay, I can sort of move that around, and I quite liked sort of just encroaching a little bit on either side of it, and doing that. Now I could do Command and I to invert. So I don't like the fact that Emily's a bit sort of, it's not, we can't really see her very well like that. So if I do Command and I on this, it inverts it round. Emily's that little bit more normal. Dan's now got this sort of demonic look. Just undo it. He's a bit more sort of in the dark and scary man in the field. So we've got this quite nice blades going on around the outside of it. So all of that looks pretty cool. It's just using that threshold Lith style look, extreme contrast black and white, and then just using difference to sort of blend them together. And then obviously if you wanted to sparse it up a little bit, you could sort of go down here. Let's add a new layer, a blank layer, which just add in. If I try to scroll up slowly, you can see here I've got anything with checkered means there is nothing there. It's not a chessboard. Don't get carried away. So when I've got that, I can then jump over to my colour picker. If I just, for example, go onto that, I'm going to pick red. Get my paint bucket, which is G on the keyboard. As part of the gradient tool, which is why it's the G. So paint bucket, and I can just click and boom, that's on. And then obviously you can start playing around with some examples. Difference looks horrific on that one. There was one that looked quite good. Oh, Vivid Light, I quite like that one. That's quite intense. So, any others that look good? No. Darker colour. Look at that. I like it. So it's menacing image on the outside. And there's saw going on. It's a little bit crazy, but for sort of quick and easy, just using difference and extreme high contrast to give that sort of graphic, edgy look, which is quite cool. So I hope you like, and I hope learning is taking place. You know, magic. Right, give it a go. Try it with my image and then try it with your own. Would be whack. Sick. Right. Take care now. Bye bye then.